Oxfordshire and the number of microbreweries. And again, I was really happy to see a really lovely correlation. But I'm going to throw that away at this point before I get in trouble with correlation. So yeah, I thought, right, let's go with this beer demo. So what I need is 2 willing volunteers, basically. So I need one person that would like to drink some beer, and I promise it's free. I won't charge you at the end. So is there a...
What kind is it?
What kind is it? Well, I stuck to the local microbrewery thing. So I got some Tap Social beer that we're going to drink. So would anyone like to be a willing volunteer and drink some beer?
I drink beer.
Yes, we do. Yeah, come on up. Perfect.
Great.
We'll get you this end of the table. And then I need a willing volunteer to pour some beer and be my generator. Anyone willing to pour some beer?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah? Come on up. Okay, so we've got kind of 3 main elements of the energy system. We've got our generator, and I'm going to skip the traditional energy system. We're going to go straight to some local generation on the grid. And we've got our demand, which is us in our houses, in our workplaces. And then we've got the energy system, the networks. And that gets the energy which is generated in one place to our demand, which is in another place. And to demonstrate that, we've got this little glass and a straw for you. Okay. So hopefully people can start to see where this is going.
Is this natural or
is this?
It's a natural straw?
It's a bamboo straw.
Oh, that's good.
Is that okay? It's not allergic to bamboo.
No,
It's fine. But at the moment, in general, we're quite dumb when it comes to demand. And so we tend to just use energy when we need to use energy, okay? We don't really think about when we should use energy or when the best time to use energy is. So I'm going to ask you to drink the beer, but with your eyes closed, okay? Now, the problem that we have with renewable generation, a lot of it is solar wind, we can't control when the wind blows and we can't control when the sun shines, and so I'm going to ask you to pour the beer with your eyes closed. So if you want to kind of get in position, okay, if you, I'll count down from 3, if you try to drink beer from this glass as quickly as you can get yourself ready with your eyes open, but then if you close your eyes, okay?
Close your eyes.
Do you want to put your straw in? Yeah, and then I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and try to pour the beer into the glass. We got any? Oh, we're just getting some. Keep pouring, keep pouring. Okay, let's stop there. Let's stop there. Thank you. So, that's the dumb system. I'm glad that you did. Don't go away just yet. We're not finished.
More beer.
More beer. Don't worry. So what we're trying to think about within my research is how we can make the system smarter. Okay, how can we make this a more efficient system? How do we waste less? Now, what happens at the moment is, had that glass got empty, there would have been a blackout. And so what the system does at the moment is we have fossil generation. And the fossil generation is online, and the fossil generation can see, and that would be there to just top up that glass to make sure that there's always demand. But that's what's causing the energy crisis at the moment. The price of fossil generation has gone sky high, and that's what's causing our energy bills to go so high. So what we want to do is get rid of that fossil generation. Okay, so this time, we're going to employ data, okay? There's going to be more data with the energy system. We're going to have a smarter energy system. You as a customer, you're going to be able to be flexible, okay? That might involve behavioural change, that might involve some new technologies, some more smart technologies in your house. But this time, you're going to do the same thing, but this time with your eyes open, okay? Also on the generation side, we're going to employ some flexibility. We're going to have some smarts. You might be able to control when that generation is happening. We might put some storage alongside the generation that allows us to only export when we want to, and we don't waste that energy. Okay, so you're also going to have your eyes open when you pour the beer. And then the final modification to the system that we're going to make is we're going to introduce a bigger glass. Okay, so this is going to represent battery storage as an example of flexibility. And what battery storage allows us to do is it essentially allows us to move energy in time. Okay, so if there's more generation at a certain time, or there's more demand at a certain time, we're able to adjust the level in this glass in order to shift that energy in time. Now, moving on to kind of Project Leo very briefly, what Project Leo is interested slightly more in is flexibility in terms of power. And there's a slight distinction between energy and power. Energy is essentially the amount of beer in this analogy, whereas power is the ability that we have to kind of move that energy kind of instantaneously, the amount that we can get through the system. Okay. So what we've done here is actually we've increased the size of the network in this case, which is not what we're trying to do within Leo, so but there's also a kind of a power analogy here as well. Now, hopefully, if we get all of this right, what it will allow us to do is actually install more local and more renewable generation. Okay, so this time I've got a slightly bigger generator. Okay, so we've now got, hopefully, more renewable energy generation on the system. And we're able to balance it out more. So, let's give it one more go, and let's see if we're a little bit more successful. So, eyes open this time. You might have to put your straw quite deep in. So, after 3, 2, 1, go. And start drinking. Right, let's stop there. Right, well done. So, no spillage that time. So, cool, thank you very much. You can sit down. Thank you. Very well. Take that one. So that is hopefully a little analogy, a little fun demonstration of moving towards a smart local energy system, and hopefully that'll be a nice kind of hand over to Barbara, who can talk about how we actually do this thing.
Thank you, Scott. So last but not least is Barbara, who can tell us a little bit about the work of the